Alright guys, 2013 Hyundai Equus. I'm going to show you guys how to access the amp. First thing you want to do is in the trunk right here on this inside liner, you're going to pull out these clips. There's one here, you come up, there's another one here. I was using just wire strippers, get them around it like that, and you can pull it out without breaking it. Once you do that, pick up your trim, sorry, not trim, the weather stripping. Underneath it, you'll see this little clip. Same thing on this side. There's a small clip right there. That'll allow you to pull this upper part of the liner down. You also need to loosen two 10mm bolts, same like a previous video I have for replacing these lights. Once you do that, there's a clip in here you need to pop out from there. Once you pop this out, this allows this to come down. And then in this spot right here is another one of these little push-in clips. Pop that out from here, and that'll allow you to start working this panel out of the way. So I actually found it easier if you pull out right, left, and there's a center middle. This whole panel will come down, and I'm gonna actually probably have to take this out in order to pull off this side panel of the amp. Also, if you lift up where your spare tire is, there's two screws. There's one right here, and there's one right there I'm pointing at. Just make sure you take those two screws off. Okay, there's also one more of these push clips right here. Make sure you pull that one out as well. Once you remove that push clip, this lifts up. There's the clip, you can see it goes in right there. Just pull straight up on that. I'm only taking off one side for now. That's giving me access to pull this out. All right, these latches for the tie downs right here. We have two on the side. If you pick this up out of the way, get like a knife or a flathead or something and get down in that corner, it'll pop up. You can unscrew it. Same thing on that one back there. So as it turns out, I'm trying to take this entire headliner out, but you see the back side of those bolts, that's bolted from the inside. You'd have to pull the seat out to loosen that, and this is pinched between there, so I don't think this is coming out. So I'm going to try to do this without taking all that out. There's a lot of extra work. Also, there's some clips. There's a white one right there, white one right there. I'm going to pull those out, reinstall those into those slots, so that when we reinstall this, that stays up. All right, so I'm going to work with it like this. I have enough access to get to the amp back there. So basically all I did was push this top liner, hold it up, and fed this from the bottom all the way down. And then I got my hand back here, started lifting up. There's a piece of foam down here. That foam needs to come up with it. It should be glued to the bottom of this liner. So pick up that foam with it, and that'll give you enough room if you pull it over to get access to the amp. It's this one right here. All right, so to remove the amp, if you remove this little push-on clip for this bolt right here, make it a little bit easier for your harness. There's a 10mm nut that goes on here, 10mm nut that goes on that one, and 10mm that goes right here. So you pull those three out, 1, 2, 3, then you can remove your amp like that. Just kind of got to lift up and then pull it out. And now you can get access to the amp. All right, so for easier access, you'll see this like clearish looking tube. It feeds down in that hole. This is a drain tube. Make sure you put that back in that hole, or else you will have water all in your trunk. All right, so I pulled the two connectors off. You just have to squeeze these clips in on the side like that. I pulled them both off because they're bundled together. But these are color coded, so you can see the black goes on top, white goes on the bottom, and we're gonna tap into these speaker wires in these harnesses right here. All right, so I have the amp now tapped into for the factory harness. I will provide a wiring diagram in the video, or if not, I'll provide a link to it in the bottom. Basically, I tapped off of left and right, positive, negative, 4 wires, and they're all labeled. So just put some tape on it, label it, whatever, so that when you run it, you know which is which. This is going to go for a line out converter. Now you can put your line out converter back here if you want, and then just run your RCAs out. The benefit of doing it this way is sometimes RCAs go bad, so you have your RCAs outside of all this, so if they do go bad, it's easier to swap them out. Same thing with the line out converter. If it goes bad, it's easier to swap that out. My amp doesn't require a line out converter because it has one built in, so these wires will actually go directly to the amp, and that'll be my input. So again, I will provide a picture of the schematics for what you want to tap into, and then basically, yeah, I know there's better ways to do it. There's more ways to skin a cat, but this is the way I'm doing it based off of what I have available to me right now. So all I'm going to do is just run all this wiring so you don't see it, and then put all these panels back, put the amp back, and yep. And again, I really want to stress this. Make sure that this tube is back inside that grommet. This is going to be your drain from all your rainwater. You do not want that hanging out in your trunk.